Just 2 years ago, Qantas was ranked as the 5th best airline in the world. But now, they're not even in the top 20. What has gone wrong in the last 2 years? Join me on my journey from Sydney to Bangalore as we explore some of the possible reasons behind this dramatic shift. This video might start today at Sydney, the primary hub for Qantas. But my day had begun several hours earlier as I had to fly up here first from Melbourne. A vast majority of Qantas international flights depart from Sydney, which can be an inconvenience to travelers based in other cities. Qantas flies 4 times a week to Bangalore, and with a departure time at 9:05 am, the domestic connections are very tight, especially having to transfer and go through immigration at Sydney. Yes, there is a second Indian flight to Delhi from Melbourne, and now Qantas has seamless connections with Indigo. But to get to Bangalore, I have to pass through immigration in Delhi, collect my bags, and change terminals. Unfortunately for Qantas, this already puts them at a disadvantage over other carriers like Singapore Airlines, which have multiple departure times out of Melbourne and bypass any additional immigration or terminal transfers. I will be referencing Singapore Airlines a few times in this video, as they are the usual go-to for many people that travel this route. I had already completed my check-in formalities at Melbourne. Qantas provides a generous weight-based baggage allowance of 30 kgs in economy class. Arriving at the Sydney International Terminal, I made my way past immigration and security, only to find that my flight was delayed by 60 minutes. I probably didn't need to panic about my connecting time after all. So I had the perfect excuse to visit the Qantas business class lounge, which was buzzing with people. Nevertheless, I found myself some space to relax. With the boarding time fast approaching, I made my way to the gate only to find the flight has been delayed again. This was due to a mechanical issue and so not entirely Qantas's fault. Finally at 10:30 am, 90 minutes after the initial departure time, we boarded the aircraft. Qantas primarily uses the A330 on its flights to Asia. In particular, the Indian routes use the A330-200, which consists of 27 seats in business class, 224 in economy, and comes with no premium economy cabin. The seating configuration in economy class is the standard 2-4-2 layout. Despite the age of this aircraft, the seats were actually well maintained and come with a standard seat pitch of 32 inches. They had those modern adjustable headrests and came with a standard amount of recline. The seat comes with an 8-inch touchscreen and a USB-A socket next to it. Pillows, blankets and headphones were provided along with a bottle of water. So far, so good. But wait, there were more delays as some passengers didn't board their flight. This meant their bags had to be offloaded and several other aircraft jumped in front of the taxi queue, furthering the delay. Finally, at 12 p.m, almost 3 hours past the original departure time, the safety video began to play and we started our pushback. And at last, we were on the runway to begin our ultra-long 12-hour journey towards Bangalore's Kampigowda International Airport. The first meal service began very promptly after departure, but here comes the biggest letdown of flying Qantas. The in-flight meals in economy class is quite minimalistic and is served in very basic cutlery. Now don't get me wrong, the food itself was quite good on this flight, but considering what you get on the other top 10 airlines like Emirates and Singapore, This just feels like cost cutting. Maybe I'm wrong, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, it's time for the Qantas A330 toilet tour. There are 6 toilets in economy class, and they were quite standard and clean. Apart from that, there's not much to add really. With several hours of the flight remaining, I tried to use the in-flight entertainment system. This is when the whole aircraft issue starts to come in. Initially, my screen was working, even though it was a bit slow and buggy. But few hours into the flight, it stopped working altogether and wouldn't turn on.
Oh no!
The crew did try their best to reset it, but just couldn't get it working again. So it was time to check out the in-flight Wi-Fi instead, which is, well, non-existent. As shocking as this sounds, Qantas doesn't have Wi-Fi on any of their international aircraft at this moment.
What?
This is despite the fact that almost all their domestic aircraft features full-speed Wi-Fi. Once again, this is quite surprising considering almost all competitors offer at least a paid Wi-Fi service. And so I had to resort to the in-flight magazine to pass the remaining hours of this daytime flight. About 2 hours prior to landing, the second meal service began. In between the 2 meal services, the crew came around offering snacks and drinks. The second meal service was quite identical to the first, and my comments about Qantas economy class catering remains the same. Finally, the long 12 hours of this journey was going to come to an end, and we were on approach to Bangalore. Maybe I was just unlucky and had several things going wrong, from delays to broken screen. Nevertheless, I found this Qantas economy class product to be quite average. It's definitely not a bad product. The seats are comfortable for economy class and the crew are very friendly. However, the lack of in-flight Wi-Fi, the aging entertainment system, and very basic meals makes it hard to justify choosing it when the competition is offering something much better. So what do you think? Would you fly this Qantas economy product to India? Let me know in the comments below.
On behalf of all of us here at Qantas and One World, thank you for choosing to fly with us. We do apologise for the delayed running of this flight and we thank you all very much for your patience.
Thank you.
Besides. Bye. Bye. Have a great time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
The left side.
Thank you so much for watching this video and welcome to this beautiful Terminal 2 here at Bangalore Airport. And in case you haven't already, feel free to check out our walkthrough video of this terminal right here on the channel.